Do you find yourself sometimes feeling alone? Does it bring you so down that you can't see clearly? Maybe you're feeling this way right now during the holiday season. Today's episode is inspired by a listener who I learned was feeling alone when she reached out to me to let me know she was enjoying the podcast. To support her and those who are looking for ideas of what you can do when you feel alone, I'm sharing with you my Post-it note method with a list of 5 questions that I have on standby for when I'm feeling alone. I'm also sharing the Christmas letter template that I use for reflecting on the past year, 2022. Come on in, girlfriend. Let's learn how to choose happy when we're feeling alone. Is adopting healthy habits a challenge despite the self-help books you're reading? Are everyone else's expectations keeping you so busy that you've got no time or energy left in your day to do what makes you happy? Do you find yourself constantly saying negative things out loud or in your head? Hey girlfriend, welcome to the Choose Happy with Marie show. You know your life can be better, but you're so tired you can't think clearly. So you continue living your life on autopilot, convinced that this is the best that it can be. I'm here to remind you, your life can be better. Hi, I'm Marie, host of the show and author of the Choose Happy affirmation cards. I've been where you are. I hear the negative self-talk you're saying because I say it too, just a different version. I also know what it's like to try to tirelessly meet everyone else's expectations. I'm here to tell you that there's hope towards finally living a life that is healthy and happy, and I call it choosing happy. If you're ready to ditch the negative self-talk, implement healthy habits, and last but most importantly, finally feel worthy of living a happy life, you're in the right place. Let's do this, girlfriend. Let's choose happy together. Welcome to the Choose Happy with Marie show. Hello. I hope you're having a lovely holiday season so far. Are you feeling relaxed or stressed with everywhere you need to be? For me, it is so nice to have a break from my day job. I don't know if I mentioned before that I have a full-time job, and it has nothing to do with the Choose Happy business and podcast. It pays the bills so that I can do this podcast. Maybe you can relate. It's a balancing act for sure, as I can only work on the podcast in the evenings and weekends. So needless to say, I am busy, but I like to think of it as good busy. You see, I don't feel like it's work when I'm connecting with you. I actually feel this is where I'm meant to be. But I've got to pay the bills, so the day job continues. I want to thank you so much for those of you who have reached out to me to tell me how much you're enjoying the podcast and asking me to make them longer. I'll balance out longer episodes with shorter ones. If you are enjoying the show, please do let me know. Your feedback helps guide the topics for future episodes. You can reply to the email that I send out weekly. If you're not on my mailing list, we need to get you on that list. The link is below in the show notes. I'd love to hear from you via email. You can also leave a review for the show on your favorite podcast app. Today's episode was inspired by a listener who reached out to me to tell me how much she appreciated the podcast. She shared with me how she was feeling. She was feeling alone, and that inspired this episode. It inspired me to think about how we can choose happy when we're feeling alone. Society gives us this picture of the holiday season being happy and joyful, hanging out with family and friends and having fun. And yes, that is what it can be, but that's not always the case. Some of us can't be with our loved ones for whatever reason. This episode is not just about the holiday season. We can feel alone any time in the year. When we are feeling alone, we are in a negative state of mind, and it's really tough to think positively of what you can do. What I find has helped is I have a list written on a Post-it note of what I can do when I feel that way. And this list was created when I'm feeling in a positive way, and that's really key here. In a way, it's like a parent taking care of a child. That's what you're doing when you're making the list for yourself. You're taking care of you in advance of when you're feeling low. Writing this list for you is an act of self-love. You are worthy of taking the time to draw up a list of things you can do when you are feeling alone. I'll share with you what works for me, and then I want you to create your own list of go-to activities, questions you can ask yourself when you are feeling alone. Remember, write this list when you are feeling good. So my list goes as follows. The first thing I do, what I have written down, and again, I use a Post-it note, but you can put it in your phone app or another piece of paper, however way you want to have it, as long as it's easily accessible so that you can reach out to it when you need it. You ready? So at the top of my Post-it note, I have the following. When I am feeling alone, I will take action on an idea from this list. There are 5 actions that I have written down after I have that title written. The first one, I need to validate how I'm feeling. I will ask myself, first I will tell myself it's okay to feel this way. Every one of us feels alone at some point in our life. Then I will ask myself, why do I feel alone right now? And then I will listen. I will take the time to listen without judgment. Then I will ask myself, what do I need right now? The second point that is on my note is the following question. Do I need to connect with someone? If so, we can call a friend. You can tell them you are thinking of them and just wanting to reach out. Or if you're comfortable, you can tell them that you're feeling lonely and just want to chat for a few minutes. Or reach out via text to a friend. I like to send out funny memes. I don't know. I don't necessarily need to tell them that I'm feeling lonely, by the way. You don't have to. It's about connection. If my friend is available, maybe she'll reply, and that gets a conversation going about whatever. It doesn't matter. It's about the connection, and sometimes just doing that, you don't feel so alone. Number 3, I ask myself, do I need to physically be with other people? If so, visit a family member, a friend, or even a neighbor that you're close to. You could drop off something for them. There's something magical that happens when we give. I like to bake something and give it away. Not only does it give me something positive to do, the act of baking is something I really enjoy doing, it also brings positive vibes when I drop it off, and I see how happy my efforts makes for the person who is receiving it. And if they're home, maybe you can have a short conversation together that may brighten your mood and you don't feel alone anymore. Another way is, if you physically need to be with other people, you can drop into your local library, community organization, or even the shopping mall. Sometimes the energy of others can help. Or you might just start an interesting conversation with someone. I have a tendency to talk with strangers, I have to tell you. I just find something to talk about. I love meeting new people, so it's something I just naturally do. Number 4, I make a list of what I'm grateful for. I ask myself, what are 3 good things that I have in my life right now? The act of gratitude is so powerful. Honestly, it was a game changer for me. If you want to learn more about this, check out episode 10, titled, Is Your Mindset Holding You Back? 10 Mindset Shifts That Changed My Life. There'll be a link in the show notes if you want to just link onto it. When you are grateful, sincerely grateful, your energy changes from negative to positive. And number 5, the last item on my list, I remind myself to do something that makes me really happy. I'll make a list ahead of time of 3 things that I can easily access that makes me happy. That often helps me pivot the feelings of loneliness. I love music and dancing, so when I'm feeling low, one of those items on the list is putting on one of my favorite songs and I dance. I've been known to be found dancing in my kitchen and on my walks in nature, but I have not started dancing in the grocery store. You'll have to listen to episode 10 when I talk about how I feel happy in a grocery store, but I don't actually, get out there and dance, but I might. Who knows? I also love to walk in nature, so that's another item on my list. Being within nature just feels very healing to me, and I just don't feel alone. I also love to read fiction books, so if that's something you like, you could put that. I always have a few books loaded on my e-reader. I find escaping in a good book helps. Or you could watch a feel-good Netflix movie or another Prime or other movie platforms that are out there. Sometimes escaping is just what you need. And remind yourself that this feeling is temporary. If you are having reoccurring feelings of loneliness, do consider reaching out to a professional to explore it further. I hope these ideas have been helpful to you so that the next time you are feeling alone, you will have a go-to list of things you can do to help you feel better. Remember, write this list in advance when you are feeling good and keep it where you can see it. Just to recap, when you are feeling alone, reach out to your list, whether it's on a Post-it note, piece of paper, phone app, and have the following questions or create your own questions. Whatever matters to you, whatever ideas you think will be supportive to you when you are feeling alone. Number 1, validate how you're feeling. Say it's okay to be feeling this way and ask yourself, what do you need right now? Number 2, do you need to connect with someone? Reach out. Number 3, do you physically need to be with others? Nudge yourself to get out of the house and be with someone. Number 4, identify 3 things you're grateful for today. And number 5, do something that makes you so happy. Wow, I can't believe it's almost the end of the calendar year as this episode airs. I hope you've had a good year so far. There's something I'd like to leave you with, if I could, an invitation for reflection, a little bonus for this episode. I call it the Christmas letter. It's something I do at the end of every calendar year. Perhaps you grew up with your family writing a letter about the year and sending it to family and friends. I used to do that when my kids were growing up. I'd talk about the activities they were in, their school grade, etc. It's a similar idea, except you don't mail the letter to anyone. It's a letter to yourself. It's a letter of reflection about the year. I'll share with you a few journal prompts that I use for your consideration. You can write about whatever comes to your mind. The first thing I write about is, what are 3 things I did this year that I'm proud of? And it doesn't need to be big things. For me, one thing I am so proud of is overcoming self-limiting beliefs that was holding me back from launching the podcast. That was not easy. Number 2, I ask myself, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for this past year? Again, does not need to be big things. For me, I am so grateful for you, my listeners who are benefiting from what I have to share with you. You know, knowledge is only as good as its use. I'm grateful to now have this platform so that I can share with you how I finally moved from being depressed for so many years to finally living a happy and healthy life on a foundation of self-worth. I want that for you too. And number 3, I ask myself, how do I want to remember this past year? If you could only use a few words, how would you describe your past year? For me, it would be how I finally took action and got out of my own way. Honestly, we can be our biggest obstacle. Talking about that requires its own episode. I'll explore that in the new year. I am so looking forward to connecting with you more in the new year. I am committed to showing up here weekly with you to share ideas so that we can all live a life that is healthy and happy on a foundation of self-worth. You are worthy of living a happy life. And I am so grateful to be on this journey of choosing happy with you. I appreciate you. No more living on autopilot. Let's craft a life that is healthy and happy, aligned with what matters to each of us, not what society tells us should matter. See you next year in 2023. Cheers! If this episode inspired you to choose happy today, I invite you to share it with other girlfriends you know. They can access it through their podcast app. I'd also encourage you to leave a review for the show at Apple Podcasts to encourage more girlfriends to start living their lives the Choose Happy way. If you're looking for more, I invite you to come join us in the Choose Happy with Marie Facebook group, where I drop by several times a week with inspiring posts related to the episode. You can find the link in my show's notes. And finally, don't forget that you can purchase your very own Choose Happy affirmation card deck on my website at www.choosehappywithmarie.com. Have a great day, and remember, choose happy.